tell us who we've got.
We've got St. Brendan's Athletic Club of Boston, and they're not. We didn't know they were necessarily in our lineup, but they are a lot of kids on this float right now, and that's what another positive about this parade in particular is the fact that you see lots of kids out enjoying themselves and really taking pride in the heritage, in Evacuation Day, and in the St. Patrick's Day and what it means to South Boston.
Yeah, they've got their Boston Strong colors that are painted on the side of their float there as well. There you go. There's that revving up of the race cars again here. He was getting a laugh out of it. Driver's getting a laugh out of that. He knew he was going to be on TV in the background, revving up that engine as he comes on by our stand here.
And we're looking at lots of St. Patrick's Day, different signs and different heads, and now we're seeing the bands out, and they're playing. As they get a little closer, maybe we'll get to hear them a little bit and see the horns.
We will, you bet. We'll let you get a listen to them as they get closer, too. You know, one of the neat things about today is that everybody's dressed up in something different. The kids, the adults. It's okay to be weird on a day like today. You can get all dressed up in your funny garb, and you can put on your funny hats and your funny wigs and everything else that you got. And that's when we look out across the crowd right now, that's what you see. You see a kind of a sea of green and white that's laid out here. So everybody kind of having fun. And this is fun, too. You know, we had the strong start with the parade and the emergency and first responders coming through Latoya. And now we get to relax a little bit and have some fun, which isn't to say that any of these groups are any less important. It's rather to say that this is kind of the character of the parade that builds here.
Well, we're looking at the Northeast Italian Band right now.
I love it.
And we're listening to them play. And you know, again, the hard work that goes into picking the right music, the right song that you can march with as you go down the street here on Broadway.
Well, you know, it's Boston when the Northeast Italian Band is playing in the St. Patrick's Day Irish Parade. You know, we've got just about everybody represented here. And of course, nonetheless, having said that, these guys, they come through, are just as integral as every other part and every other group that's come on by here so far, Latoya.
Let's see, I think they're close enough right now. Let's see if we can raise up the sound a little bit and hear their music.
Okay.
And there you have the Northeast Italian Band under the direction of Sal Erna. Sal Erna joined the Italian Colonial Band of Lawrence in 1961 until its last performance in 1997, and then it expanded in 1998. And they go all around this area, playing in parades and concerts, really to the delight of all sorts of crowds.
You know, we'll also take a moment to acknowledge Mass Bay Credit Union, a not-for-profit, full-service financial institution providing the highest level of service and personal attention to all members for over 75 years. Mass Bay Credit Union serving over 17,000 members, managing about $200 million in assets. As a local community-driven financial institution, they're committed to providing members with the best banking value, products, and services available with state-of-the-art technology and unparalleled access. So we give a shout-out to the Mass Bay Credit Union today.
And there they are with their banner right now. So apropos, and as you look at the crowd, the first South Boston St. Patrick's Day / Evacuation Day was back in 1901 as the 125th anniversary of the day General Washington forced the British out of Boston. Yeah. This parade route here is just under 3.5 miles long, but it's jam-packed with people. Between 500,000 and 1 million people gather out here on St. Patrick's Day or the Sunday before every year. And a great turnout despite the weather.
It's amazing, too, to think about this parade going since 1901. There is an awful lot of history that comes into play, not just in Boston, not just with St. Patrick's Day, not just with Evacuation Day, but also with this parade. Let's listen to it.
And there you have it, the Northeast Italian Band under the direction of Sal Erna. Matt, what's interesting about this is 19 musicians that range from early teens to 80-plus years old.
Yeah.
Just put that music together for us.
And that's something. I know everybody comes together and everybody plays together and they sound fantastic. So they found their harmony wonderfully here. You know, the parade that we're watching here today is one of, believe it or not, 100 St. Patrick's Day parades that are held across the United States. New York City and Boston, of course, home to the largest celebrations, but nonetheless, folks across the country celebrating in very much the same way that you're seeing done here today. In fact, Irish is the nation's second most frequently reported ancestry, ranking behind, I would not have guessed this, German.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that fact too.
Oh, my
How about
goodness.
green? We see all the green in the crowd, wearing green, eating green food, even drinking green beer.
Yeah.
It's said to commemorate St. Patrick's use of the shamrock, although blue was the original color of his vestments, Matt. Did you know that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, and certainly green, I think, with the it was the Irish independence movement where green became a more prominent color that was used and worn and touted through St. Patrick's Day.
Now, this parade is organized by Allied War Veterans Council. The city of Boston sponsored this event until 1947, when Mayor James Michael Curley gave the authority to the South Boston Allied War Veterans Council to take over. And so they've been leading it ever since.
That's right. You know, while the event is privately funded, the city still does foot the bill for some things. For example, security that's needed from the police department, things of that nature. But nonetheless, privately funded by the Allied War veterans, and still going strong all these years later, fueled by members, by volunteers, and by folks who dedicate their time and money to keep things going strong as well.
So do you see who's making their way down the parade route right now? It's the Massachusetts Maritime Academy, and they are certainly impressive, Matt. They've been doing different formations.
Yeah, over 100